Hi YouTube, my name is Angelito Tenorio and I'm going to be presenting on Act 1, Scene 1 of Shakespeare's Hamlet. Alright, let's get started. So I did some research online and many of Shakespeare's plays from his time, especially Hamlet, actually concern the transfer of power from one monarch to the next. These plays particularly focus on the uncertainties and betrayals that accompany such shifts in power, and also the general sense of anxiety and fear that surround them. The situation that Shakespeare presents at the beginning of Hamlet is that a strong and beloved king has died, and the throne has not been inherited by his son, as we might expect, but by his brother. This kind of reminds me of Disney's film The Lion King. That movie is actually loosely based off of Hamlet, because King Mufasa is killed by Scar, and Simba did not inherit the throne right away, but Scar did. So the people of Denmark are still grieving over the old king, and no one really knows what to expect from the new one. And even the guards outside the castle are fearful and suspicious. This scene shows very clearly the problem of discerning between appearance and reality. The ghost appears, but is it really there? It prefigures the tension of the ensuing tragedy, while the changing of the guards mirrors the instability of the political climate of Denmark. The transition from one king to another, and the arrival of the prince whose rightful place on the throne has been compromised, are motifs that continue to progress throughout the play. The supernatural appearance of the ghost on a misty night outside the castle indicates immediately that something is wrong in Denmark. The ghost indicates that something about his death has upset the balance of nature. The appearance of the ghost also gives physical form to the fearful anxiety that surrounds the transfer of power after a king's death. It seems to imply that the future of Denmark is a dark and frightening one. Horatio, in particular, sees the ghost as an ill omen, boding violence and turmoil in Denmark's future. Since Horatio proves to be right, and the appearance of the ghost does lead to later tragedies of the play, the ghost functions as kind of a foreshadowing. The dead king's armor suggests that the king could be a soldier, returned to finish a job left undone. An omen for the troubled country he once ruled, and a spirit with divine permission. Horatio dwells on the idea, shedding light on the play to illuminate several other motifs. Shakespeare's contemporaries believed in ghosts, and closely linked these apparitions with their religious fears of the devil's power and hell's dominion on earth. Like witches, ghosts were believed to be agents of the afterlife. Unlike witches, however, they were not universally dreaded. Ghosts might actually represent the Spirit of God. A ghost could represent an angel or a devil to Shakespeare. According to the religious precepts of the time, as I found online, anyone seeing a ghost must identify the ghost's purpose and form. A ghost could be a hallucination, a restless spirit who has returned to perform a deed left undone in life, a specter seen as a prediction or warning, sent as a gift from God, a spirit returned from beyond the grave by divine permission, or a devil disguised as a dead person. And we see this throughout the play, that different characters in Hamlet test each one of these possibilities. We meet Fornbras. He is a young man whose father has been defeated by a foe, and whose obligation to avenge his father's death and reclaim the conquered properties serves as a foil for Hamlet. Several characters will reflect Hamlet, but Fornbras is the first to be named in the play, in whom we see a likeness of the Prince of Denmark. Fornbras has another significance to the play. The first scene signals an important thematic thread in Hamlet. The passing of the torch from the old to the young inevitably carries the duty of the young to live up to their elders' expectations. A son must obey a father's instruction, no matter how unreasonable the directive might be, even if the order causes murder, war, or mayhem. In scene 1, we meet Horatio, and he explains that because young Fornbras is bent on avenging his father's defeat at old King Hamlet's hand, all of Denmark must prepare for war. The scene introduces the character Horatio as a good-humored man who is also educated, intelligent, but skeptical of supernatural events. Even after seeing the ghost, he is reluctant to give full credit to the stories of magic and mysticism. When Marcellus says that he has heard the crowing of the cock has the power to dispel evil powers, Horatio replies, "So I have heard, and do in part believe it." You really noticed in part, so not really whole, not in full. Horatio's worrying about the impending attack on Denmark by Fornbras and his Norwegians reveals another of the many mirrors that layer throughout the play. Fornbras's honor compels him to attack the established Danes in order to avenge his father, despite the fact that he lacks the funds to pay his warriors. Old Fornbras and young Fornbras, old Hamlet and young Hamlet, old Polonius and young Laertes continually exemplify Shakespeare's preoccupation with the filial duty and devotion. But it's important to notice that Horatio is not a blind rationalist, because when he sees the ghost, he does not deny its existence, but on the contrary, he is overwhelmed with terror. His ability to accept the truth at once, even with his predictions have been proved wrong, indicates the fundamental trustworthiness of Horatio's character. His reaction to the ghost functions to overcome the audience sense of disbelief, since for a man as skeptical, intelligent, and trustworthy as Horatio, to believe in and fear the ghost is far more impressive than if it only witnesses and had been a pair of superstitious watchmen. In a subtle way, Shakespeare uses Horatio to represent the audience's perspective throughout the scene. By overcoming Horatio's skeptical resistance, the ghost gains the audience's suspension of belief as well. I want to thank you for watching, and have a good day.